for the Daily Caller. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. I know you lean right, but I thought you would bring a different perspective to this scenario. So here's what Clinton surrogate John Podesta said in the Boston Globe about VP picks. Quote, "We'll start with a broad list and then begin to narrow it, but there is no question that there will be women on that list." So in your mind, would it be smart for Clinton to name a woman as her VP?
Well, it depends on the woman. I think that if you're the type of Democratic voter who's voting purely on identity politics, you want the first female president of the United States, you're already with Hillary Clinton. So I think doubling down is not going to earn any more of those voters. But if you choose someone like Elizabeth Warren, I think you might get some unification around Hillary from the Bernie people, not because Elizabeth Warren's a woman, but because she is somewhat of an intellectual leader of the left, kind of like Bernie Sanders. So maybe some of those alienated Bernie supporters might be more excited about voting for Hillary Clinton if someone like Elizabeth Warren's on the ticket, but not because she's a woman.
Interesting, because I was going to ask you this question. Like, let's say Hillary Clinton names Elizabeth Warren as her VP, and Elizabeth Warren agrees. Wouldn't that set up a battle between the sexes kind of thing?
Well, there's no question that you would be a historic ticket. Obviously, we've never had a female president of the United States or a female vice president of the United States. But even without Elizabeth Warren, Hillary's going to argue it's a historic moment because she would be the first female president of the United States. What's important about Elizabeth Warren on the ticket is, besides the obvious fact that it'll be the first type of ticket of that kind, is that she might help bring in those Bernie supporters, those alienated left-wing base of Hillary Clinton, because she is, in a way, an intellectual leader of that side of the aisle in the Democratic Party, or that wing of the Democratic Party.
So would that at all force Trump to name a woman to his ticket? Would that ever happen?
I think regardless of who the Democratic vice presidential nominee is, if Hillary Clinton is the nominee, a woman will be top and center for a Republican candidate, primarily because, as you know, in 2012 and throughout kind of the 2000s, this idea of a Republican war on women has been out there, and that's an attack on Republicans. I think it's ridiculous, but to kind of mitigate that attack, I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Carly Fiorina or the governor of South Carolina, Nikki Haley, was considered a top choice for VP
by whoever the Republican nominee is. Do you think those two women would ever agree to run with Donald Trump?
Maybe not with Donald Trump, but I'm not so sure Donald Trump is yet the nominee. With Ted Cruz, obviously, you could see a Cruz-Fiorina ticket. And Donald Trump, maybe he would reach out to Nikki Haley and convince her to come on. I'm not sure Carly Fiorina will want to join a Donald Trump ticket, but maybe Nikki Haley.
Maybe. You never know. It's politics, right? You just never know.
Absolutely.
There is also talk that Hillary Clinton would name HUD Secretary Julian Castro to the ticket. Of course, he's Hispanic. So I guess, would a Republican candidate have to wait to see who Hillary Clinton picks as her running mate before they pick theirs, knowing that they have weaknesses within the Hispanic and African American communities?
Well, let me just say that if they picked Julian Castro, that would be a deeply cynical pick. He might be the least qualified in terms of experience vice presidential pick of all time. He was mayor of San Antonio, which is basically a ceremonial position, just recently became secretary of HUD maybe a little over a year ago. I mean, it's not clear where the presidential qualifications are there. But yes, I think that a Hispanic pick, if Donald Trump is the nominee, especially with the way he's turned off a lot of Hispanic voters, is a serious possibility. If Ted Cruz is the nominee, that's less important for a vice presidential nominee. But I just think Julian Castro would be a deeply, deeply cynical pick by the Democrats, hoping that merely because he's a Hispanic, he'll get the Hispanic community to vote for him, not because of necessarily anything